Hello, everybody. Good morning. Today is April 28th, 2025. Last week was EthDC, and it's basically, it was called this year actually Crypto Capital EthDC 2. And the team was in town to come to the conference. It was really great. Lots of very different diverse subjects were discussed from obviously decentralization, CK, AI, and also some legislation stuff. But anyway, it was really great. If you guys were in town, I hope you guys made it. And we left off on the upgrade for testnet, actually, before the conference. So we didn't have a lot of time to test it then. We have been testing it now. So Caleb, where's that at?
Good. It's been running over the weekend. No issues. Reporters are looking good. Yeah, it should be. We're gonna do one last test through, and if things look good, we should propose the upgrade tomorrow morning.
Right. Tim?
Yeah, I did some updates to the token bridge last week that fixed a deprecated finality check. So once our chain's back up and running, I'm gonna be making sure that's working correctly, and then yeah. But I'm mostly working on writing documentation this week, and then just continuing to make sure layers running correctly. Yeah.
Dan?
I'm working on a small enhancement so that selectors can become reporters and reporters can become selectors.
Akram?
I'm working on the layer values monitor. Last week with Spuddy, we were testing out some reporting, and there was quite a delay on when the report was checked and the value was actually alerted for. Excuse me. And so what I'm doing is basically I made some changes to make it async. So instead of checking each single report, batch them per block. So reports in one block would be checked against whatever that value is, since I think the time is not that much, it's only 2 seconds. And so instead of making API calls for each single report, make a single API report, check that value against the reports, and do all this async. But for things like EVM calls, it would be a little bit different since you have to decode the value and check every single one, but those are not as often as price feeds, so it shouldn't be a problem, I think.
Okay, well, we'll make sure to test everything. Spuddy?
Yeah, as Akram said, I was working on running the layers values monitor last week. I've been working on my own monitor stuff. I set up a testnet. I set up my own testnet so that I can test upgrades like Caleb did, or like Caleb's talking about doing. And pretty excited about that. As I work on it, I'm using it as an opportunity to enhance the docs, because there's a lot of stuff that we do all the time when we're testing, and it should be in the docs anyway. So I can just, as I do it, take a little bit of time to put the commands in there.
Ryan?
For the bridge page, I'm going to be working on making it both way compatible. So it'll be interesting to get the Kepler wallet, the Cosmos ecosystem wallet, compatible for the bridge page.
Woo.
Nick?
Yeah, we're working on some fun stuff. Gonna be posting a new deep dive today. This one I had last week with Ugur from API 3. He is a 3-time guest on the Deep Dives podcast. I think the only other person I've had on 3 times is Edmund. So Edmund Edgar from his are always one of my favorite. But Ugur, this one's really good. It's kind of just rambling on OEV for an hour or 45 minutes with Ugur. So If you guys watch it, have questions, would love to answer some questions because it seems like a lot of people are doing OEV stuff in Oracle land. So if you have any questions about that or what's kind of going on, this is the place to go. So
It sounded like it was going to be kind of spicy.
it's pretty spicy. Yeah, I mean, he just like rips into Chainlink like like it just full force. So he's really good. Like he doesn't hold back. Like because I told him like whenever you're talking like oracles or kind of like OEV design or MEV design, there's like 2 or 3 options. Like the whole design space fits within trade-offs between 2 or 3 options. So it's like, where are you? What are the trade-offs? How do you think about it? And that's kind of what we tried to get into a little bit. I tried asking him some of the harder questions, so if you guys are watching this, you're like, well, what's Tellor's OEV solution? And the thing is like, I ask him, I'm like, well, why wouldn't projects just do this themselves? And he's like, well, they probably will. And that's, I know it's like Chainlink's taking like a 60-40 cut on a lot of this stuff. If it's making good money and you're fine with a, whitelisted multi-sig, chances are you're probably not going to let them take 40% forever. So I'm curious to see just how fast of a race to the bottom it is. So it'll be good.
Looking forward to seeing it. Watch out for this week, guys, for the announcement for the upgrade. We'll let you guys know when it's going to happen, the block number, the approximate time. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Go around. I want to hear everybody's take.
Okay. What was your take on the conference, guys?
For me, I felt really awkward because it's the first time I've ever been to a crypto conference and the devs were like a small minority of the people there. And it was like a lot of people, a lot of suits, a lot of people talking about maybe how they're going to make money off of the projects instead of like talking about building anything. And I felt I had fun conversations with a few people, but most of the people I talked to, I told them a little bit about myself and what I do, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go over here." And that's kind of how it went. But still had some good conversations also.
This is tough. The majority of the DC circuit, I feel it's attorneys, VCs, the ones that come from New York, and as much as we try and make it for devs or for builders, it's just I don't know that we exist in a majority just in general in DC. So it's rough. I think our team was probably the biggest group of devs there.
We were the lonely cypherpunks the whole time.
Yeah.
Brenda was great. Your talks, I think you were great. I think those were really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you said that, Spuddy, because I kind of had the opposite impression or I was comparing it to last year. I kind of remember a lot more suits last year, and then this year, yeah, it struck me as there being fewer literal suits in the building, and then also talking to people. I mean, it seemed like I talked to a number of people that were like founders, or people that were part of crypto projects. I don't know that I even talked to any bloggers.
Maybe you guys were hanging out in different places.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to the people that everybody else was trying to talk to.
Yeah.
I talked to the lady who was from Stellar, who I don't know what did she do at Stellar? I don't know. But I just couldn't hold her attention at all. She was like somebody else.
And also, I really liked that smaller conference feel. That's pretty nice. It seems like you can sit down and talk to someone more easily.
Yeah, there's definitely more accessibility. There's more time. Dan, Ryan, any thoughts?
Yeah, it was an interesting variety of people. It's cool to hear some of the legislation talks, like the legal concerns that like new projects or DAOs run into. I
Yeah,
don't see that too often.
yeah. It's definitely different, a very different environment than when we started. So yeah, I think it's interesting for everybody. Yeah, Brian?
Yeah, I thought the strongest takeaway was the quality of the talks. It was
Oh yeah.
definitely the talk heavy conference, but you could just tell that the focus on the topics and just the panelists themselves, everyone, it was kind of hard for me to go down to talk to people because I wanted to listen to every talk. And you can tell the quality of the talk by the response of the claps after, and each one like really felt like people were actually there to listen and not charge their phone.
They were engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much for volunteering and helping out.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Um, but yeah, maybe next time, Akram, Nick, you guys can make it.
So I
Okay.
definitely enjoyed the talks. It was the first conference that I've been to that was very talk heavy. And it kind of took away the pressure that you have to like constantly be finding someone to talk to. And also figuring out what to talk to them about. So it was lots of great discussions, and also with there being a little more suits and policy side of things, it was a lot of things were covered that I don't think are generally covered in the conferences we go to because let's be honest, most developers don't really care about policy and legislation. But it was kind of cool to see like where things are going on that side because in reality like that's going to have a direct impact on us more than like a cool new design would, I guess. But yeah.
There was a panel that was actually very specific to advising founders, and it was, I don't know, like 3 or 4 lawyers up there just talking about the different things, which for founders, it could be really useful if you don't have, especially like good counsel or the money to afford it, maybe. Not everybody's, I don't know that we're at the time, Nick, where the gray area is actually, I don't know if you can actually take advantage of that anymore, to be honest. It seems difficult.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what was the big takeaway? Who has like something they actually learned from the conference in one of these talks? Anybody? Maybe on the policy side, what was the big thing you took away?
For DAOs, like decentralization is cool, but also in practice, people like to have like know who to blame type thing. Know who like because like if a large group of people does something bad, who gets in trouble? Does nobody get in trouble? Do all of them get in trouble? Because then you could just hold the token and not have done anything, but you're still a part of it. Are you liable? I thought those discussions were really interesting. And just like the importance of like adapting legal frameworks to this and not just kind of YOLOing it and see what happens type thing. So I thought that was really interesting because I know at the beginning a lot of DAOs were like, look, we can just have a token and now we have all this funding and we can do all this stuff. And there was like no administrative plan or like legal plan. And I always thought that that would come back to bite them in the butt. So I guess it's cool to be right.
Regulatory arbitrage is it's getting harder and harder as things get clearer and clearer. But
I learned that I should wear a suit.
No. What?
I
Fight
try
that,
to
buddy.
encourage everybody not to. I think one of my tweets was like, suits not encouraged. Please don't wear a suit. Don't know how else to put it. But you guys could always dress up. It's, maybe the one conference a year you guys want to dress up to.
I'll try to make it a funny suit. Like
Tellor green.
yeah. Or like swoosh print.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see you guys next week. Do we have any questions, right? No, right?
No, nothing real.
Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, see you next week.